What if I told you that two women once dominated the politics of nearly 2 billion people, decades before women were expected to lead nations?
It's a privilege to stand here today as the elected Prime Minister of the Federation of Pakistan.
That I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India.
One fought a war in Pakistan that changed the map of Asia. The other shattered one of the world's biggest political barriers by becoming the first woman to democratically lead a modern Muslim majority nation. Both were daughters of political giants. Both survived imprisonment, assassination attempts, and relentless opposition. But in the end, both were assassinated. So who was truly Asia's most powerful woman? The answer isn't as obvious as you think. Jawaharlal Nehru was one of the founders of modern India, and his daughter Indira Gandhi grew up at the center of Indian politics. Yet when she became Prime Minister in 1966, critics mocked her as a weak and inexperienced. Some even called her a silent doll. They would soon regret it. Meanwhile, across the border, Benazir Bhutto watched her father Zulfikar Ali Bhutto rise to power and then lose it. After a military coup led by Muhammad Ziaul Haq, her father was executed. Benazir herself was jailed and later forced into exile. Most political careers would have ended there. Hers was only beginning. And what happened next would make history. In 1971, India and Pakistan went to war. The conflict ended with the creation of Bangladesh. It was one of the biggest military and geopolitical turning points in South Asian history. For millions of Indians, this cemented Indira Gandhi's reputation as a decisive wartime leader. Then came another milestone. In 1974, India carried out Smiling Buddha, becoming the first country in South Asia to conduct a nuclear test. India's standing on the world stage changed dramatically. At that point, many observers considered Indira Gandhi among the world's most influential leaders. But power has a price. And her next decision would become one of the most controversial in Indian history. In 1975, Indira Gandhi declared the Indian emergency. Civil liberties were suspended, many opposition leaders were arrested, and press freedom was heavily restricted. While some argued that it restored order during a period of instability, critics called it one of the darkest chapters in India's democracy. Whether viewed as a strong leader or an authoritarian one, there is little dispute that she exercised extraordinary political power. Meanwhile, Pakistan faced a very different reality. Benazir Bhutto had become Prime Minister. But unlike Indira Gandhi, she governed in a political system where the military and the presidency retained significant influence. In 1988, Benazir Bhutto achieved what many believed was impossible.
मैं बेनज़ीर भुट्टो सिद्ध के दिल से हल्फ उठाती हूँ कि मैं मुसलमान हूँ
Some claimed to fear revenge.
She became the first woman to democratically lead a modern Muslim majority nation.
And the torturers.
That moment captured global attention.
Against those who subverted constitutional law. But ladies and gentlemen, there was no revenge for them and for dictators across
To supporters,
the world.
she represented democracy, reform, and the possibility of greater political participation for women. But her governments faced persistent political conflict, corruption, economic challenges, and repeated dismissals from office. Even so, she refused to leave politics behind. After years in exile, she returned to Pakistan in 2007 despite repeated warnings that her life was in danger. She said democracy was worth the risk. She would never get another chance to prove it. In 1984, after authorizing Operation Blue Star, Indira Gandhi was assassinated by two of her own bodyguards. 3 years later, Benazir Bhutto returned to Pakistan to campaign for office once again. On 27 December 2007, she too was assassinated. 2 women, 2 nations, and 2 political dynasties. Both left behind legacies that remain fiercely debated even decades later. Power means commanding a government, leading a country through war, shaping regional geopolitics, and exercising sweeping executive authority. Indira Gandhi has the stronger case. Her leadership influenced the course of Indian history and South Asian politics in lasting ways. But if power means breaking barriers, inspiring democratic participation, and becoming a global symbol for women in politics, she changed what millions believed was impossible for women in public life. Perhaps the better question isn't who was greater. It is that which kind of power leaves the deeper mark on history. Power over a nation or power to inspire generations. Tell us what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more stories about world leaders, history, and the political moments that changed our world. I'm your host Z, and I'll see you in the next video.